It is time to get uplifted. Thank you for joining me. I'm Allison Seymour, and next month is Women's History and Empowerment Month. But we didn't want to wait until March to talk about the positive impact that women in our area are having on others. So in this episode, we're going to highlight a young woman, a museum, and 3 women-owned businesses all empowering our community. Now, we know that there are so many reasons why being a woman rocks. I asked you on my social media why you love being a woman. So here are some of your responses. Robin Boyd, thank you. She says that she loves being a woman because she was able to give birth to her 3 children. Rena Bannister says she loves that she has the ability to nurture, uplift, and bring life through words, actions, and the love she pours into others. And hey, I love being a woman for all those reasons too, but especially being a mom to my 3 girls and the connection we now share now that they are young adults. Well, we know that pageants can inspire women to be confident in their own skin, help them pursue their goals, and make a positive impact on their community. So we want to introduce you to Miss District of Columbia Teen USA, Chelsea Chambers. Chelsea is a sophomore at Howard University and a passionate advocate for youth empowerment. Thank you so much. I know you're busy.
Yes,
Thanks for coming in.
Yes.
First of all, you're a sophomore at Howard. How are you managing all of these different crowns that you wear, Queen?
Well, it's a lot of time management, but I knew going into my sophomore year that I really wanted to be Miss DC Teen USA, and so I knew it would have to be a balance. So just making sure I'm on top of my schoolwork, but also on top of my appearances. It's so important for me as Miss DC to impact our youth, and that's truly what I want to do with my year of service. So just time management.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what made you say, you know what, I think I can do this, I'm going to enter, and you won. What made you want to do it in the first place?
So I actually started competing at the age of 12.
Okay.
And so at first it was just kind of an activity to get me out of my box and help me release my shyness. But I quickly realized that you can have a platform and you can have an impact. So my platform, Broadcast Her, because I actually want to go into sports journalism, is highlighting powerful women in that industry. And so that truly was what made me really want to go into pageantry and inspire so many young women.
How, you know, the reaction when you see young women and really girls, because I firmly believe that little girls love big girls.
Yes.
So what's that reaction been when you're out in the community and people see you?
It's amazing. A lot of times the little girls say, oh my God, it's a princess, but I really want them to know that they can be here too. That's really why I'm here as a Black woman. It's so important that young girls, especially in the district, see themselves in my shoes. And so it's such an amazing experience. I get to go to schools, and having them run up to me and give me a hug really makes my day.
I think that's awesome. So how do you think that this title now and your time now will actually play into what you want to do in broadcast later? How will that help, do you think?
So it's so important for me to do public speaking events, and being able to speak out and speak about what I'm passionate about is really going to help me as a future sports journalist is really what I want to do. And so having the confidence to do that and pursue that is so important to me, especially as a Black woman. You know, a lot of times we might hear that we're not capable of doing something, but having this title truly shows me that I am capable, and I know that I can do it no matter what, as long as I have confidence and purpose.
Now, you said that you were shy. Where is that? I don't see that at all. Like, and what did you do to overcome that? Because a lot of us, I would consider myself a quiet person as well. But when you have to be on, and when you have to be in front of people, you know, you're there. So what was that thing that inside of you that said, I can do this?
Well, for one, my mom is one of my biggest inspirations. So her really encouraging me. She's actually the one who told me, like, you can do this, you got this. So definitely my mom, but just knowing that I'm capable and there's other young women out there that are watching me, that are looking up to me and might feel like maybe I can't do this, but seeing someone who is shy and who might not have seen myself here maybe 5 years ago is so important that they see that and they know that they can achieve that. But having a great support system is truly what got me here.
Oh, I love that so much. Lastly, before we let you go, because you're busy, I know you got to do work, what's that word of encouragement that you would give to women your age, even older? Because let's be honest, just because you get older doesn't mean you get all this confidence sometimes. What is that word that you would give other women watching?
I would just say, don't take no for an answer. You can do it. Even if you have to get redirected in the process, it's so important to find another avenue so that you can pursue your goals and pursue your dreams. I'm not letting no one tell me no when I become a sports journalist, even though that might be seen as a male-dominated industry. So don't take no as an answer.
I love that so much. This is Chelsea Chambers. She is your Miss Teen District of Columbia. Wear that crown. You wear it well.
Thank you so much.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
We know that being a woman isn't always about the glitz and the glamour. Sometimes life is just hard. period. So we wanted to highlight one method that you can use to ease your stress and help you feel comfortable in your own skin. Joining us is Maggie Doctors. She is the owner of Hot Body. That's a hot yoga and Pilates studio right on Wisconsin Avenue in Northwest DC. Now, I said Hot Body, but of course it's a little bit more highfalutin than that. How do you pronounce the name?
I think technically it's Hot Body, but Hot Body's fine, Allison.
Okay, because you're going to get a hot body.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so welcome. We're so happy that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
What is the difference between hot yoga and regular yoga?
Well, hot yoga is done in a hot room.
Okay.
Our classes range anywhere from like 98 body temp to about 108. And there's different styles of yoga that we do. And I think the biggest difference between regular unheated yoga and hot yoga is really the mental benefit that you get from overcoming the heat, and also the detoxification benefits are really wonderful.
It's like seems like working out in a sauna type environment.
Pretty much, yeah, not too far off.
Okay, how do people even start? You know, I think you think about yoga and it might be a little bit intimidating for a lot of people, myself included. How do you start?
Well, just so you know, Allison, everybody was new once.
Okay.
And it's really common to feel awkward and out of place when you first walk into a yoga studio. And my advice is just to be brave, just brave enough to get in the door, and then you'll realize that everybody's really nice. There's no judgments. We're all there for our own reasons, for our own health, and it's a supportive community that you can become a part of.
I love it. So how does it empower your mind and your body?
Right. So I think physically the benefits are pretty obvious, right? Stronger, more toned, more flexible, healthier in general because of the detoxification. But really the mental benefits are like the secret sauce of yoga. Once you learn to kind of be still and in the moment, you're able to step outside of your physical thinking mind, and you end up becoming the third-party observer of your thoughts.
Okay.
And you realize that your mind is not who you are necessarily.
Right.
And once you're able to kind of still the mind a little bit, you just cultivate a sense of inner peace.
You know, I think that we were talking before we came on, and when I tried yoga the first time, I think my kids were really small, they're stair steps, and I was just all over the place. I could not settle in, but it takes time, and try again if you failed the first time like I did.
Yeah, just show up, keep showing up. Consistency is the key.
All right, so empowerment and confidence. Is it confidence just because you're looking leaned out and great? Is that it?
I think yoga builds resilience, right? Every time you step onto your mat, every time you show up again, even though the last class was hard or hot or sweaty, you keep going, and it builds resilience, and that translates off the mat as well.
I know that men, of course, are involved in yoga and Pilates and all that, but specifically speaking for women, what do you think it does for women?
I really think that it makes us more confident in our bodies and in how we relate to other people in the world. There's so many stresses and so many expectations of what we should look like, be like, where we should go, who we should know, all of it. And I think when you get really comfortable with yourself, all of that stuff kind of falls away, and you can just be your authentic self.
I'm listening to Let Them right now by, I think, Mel Robbins, and that's what she talks about. When you can just let go of what everybody else puts on you and what you think, Okay, yoga again. So before we let you go, can you show us like a beginner's thing, like something I would do, and then just show off a little bit with a big advanced move before we let you go?
All right, well, I did put together a little fun, like 60-second flow for your viewers.
All right.
And they can refer back to this, and they can repeat it a few times.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna start flopping the arms around.
We can do that.
Keep your feet about hip width, your toes straight forward, your feet nice and parallel. We're just gonna flop the arms.
Oh, that feels good. Let it go.
Just a little bit of twisting at the waist.
Everybody in the studio is doing it.
Inhale. Nice, Rodney. All right, sweep your arms over your head. Take a deep breath. And then we're going to bring the body down to the right and scoot your hips over to the left. Inhale. On your exhale, come back to center. Reach up, look up, and over to the left side we go. Scoot those hips to the right. Take a breath. Find a little space, and on the exhale, come back to center. Good. Now we're just going to flop forward. Bend your knees, bring your belly towards your thighs, and come on down. You can shake it off, maybe hold the elbows right to left with your upper body. And here's a good one. We're going to turn the toes out to 45 and drop your hips down. Now, if you're watching this,
are we
you might
into
be
advanced?
like,
Are we into advanced now?
This is a little more advanced.
Okay.
So if you're like most Americans, you might not be able to do this.
Yeah.
People in the West don't have this level of flexibility because this is called malasana in yoga or yogi squat, but it's also called poop pose. This is how most of the world goes to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So it's a really natural position for us even into old age, and it's one that you'll do if you come to yoga regularly.
Oh my God.
We're gonna bring the arms forward here, and then we're gonna lift the hips up, and then we're gonna just fold all the way back up to the top, roll the shoulders back, bring your arms overhead, and we're gonna end with Anjali Mudra right at the heart. Little bow. And we're done.
Is this when I say namaste?
Namaste.
Namaste.
Indeed.
All right.
Namaste.
This is Maggie Doctors. How do we get to your yoga shop?
You can
yoga
find
shop.
it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yoga studio.
That works. The studio's on Wisconsin Avenue in Tinleytown.
Yeah.
We're on Instagram and Facebook. HopeBodhi.com is where everything is really for us. And we have a mobile app that I just relaunched. So Hope Bodhi on your app store.
You're wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Allison.
All righty. Now we want to highlight a local woman who's making a positive impact in an unexpected way. She is inspiring others to do something way beyond her job description. Our Sean Martinelli takes us to the heart of it.
At Caledon State Park, it may be October,
No monarchs yet, but they'll be on their way soon.
but in Lucia Craven's heart, it's always June.
She's in my heart all the time.
4 years ago, Lucia lost her daughter June.
She was a perfect little beautiful bundle, and she got a rare tumor. After she passed, I came here by myself and did a lot of hiking.
Those hikes steered Lucia from her career as a teacher toward a different path.
I think that June led me here to this new chapter of my life, being a ranger.
Now Ranger Lucia also believes June recently led her somewhere else.
A coworker came in looking a little flustered and said that there was an aggressive dog under a vehicle in the parking area.
The dog had escaped a group of volunteer walkers from a Fredericksburg animal shelter. They say he was less misbehaving and more misunderstood.
He was misconstrued for sure, and it gave him a very bad reputation.
I could see that he was trailing a leash, he was wearing a harness, and he was wearing a bandana that said "Adopt Me." So that was my first clue that he was probably not actually aggressive, but just needed some help.
But Lucia did a lot more than just help.
And it was told to all the volunteers that, oh hey, he got lost, but also adopted.
Want to go see if your friends are out there?
Yes, adopted.
Well, he was making his needs very clear. He said, "Adopt me," on his bandana.
Do you think you needed him too?
Oh, absolutely. Who's going to rescue who here?
Of course, Lucia says a dog cannot come close to replacing the hole in her heart.
There's no perfect solution for all of life's heartbreaks, but animals sure do help.
And this one undoubtedly has. Lucia named him Woody in honor of the flowering dogwood, Virginia's state tree.
Really just expanded the love in our house.
It's probably our favorite adoption story. I think everyone would agree.
You're so handsome.
It's just so inspiring that anything can happen.
Anything can happen
Oh, should we go in the front door? Where you go?
with a little help from June. Sean Martinelli, WUSA 9.
And we know many of you will agree with my next statement. Flowers just uplift us. They make us happy, whether we buy them for ourselves or we get them from someone else in a really special gift. Those floral arrangements tend to make us feel good. And joining us now is Alexis Haggins. She owns the flower shop on Upshur Street in Northwest DC called Flowers by Alexis. It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you.
First of all, yes, on all of this.
Thank
Wonderful.
you so much.
Okay, so tell me about your journey to owning your own flower shop, first of all.
Yeah, so I was actually raised in a florist.
Okay.
My dad had a florist many, many years before
wow.
I was born.
Okay.
And when I was born, he changed the name to Flowers by Alexis.
Aww.
And it was on Upshur Street, actually.
Okay.
So we stayed there for many years until he passed away. I tried to take over the business and keep it open, but I was unsuccessful. And then almost 20 years later, I reopened it.
Wow.
The opportunity just presented itself. I didn't know I knew how to make flowers.
Yeah.
Found out I did.
It was in your DNA.
It was in my DNA.
Yes, I love that.
Yes.
What is it though, before we get into a little bit of how we make the perfect bouquet and all that, what is it about flowers do you think that just makes us feel better?
They
lifts
bring
us up.
great energy. They're beautiful. It just does something to the room when you have a beautiful bouquet of flowers in a vase sitting on the island or in the kitchen and you come in. It just changed the whole energy, the look of things. They're just beautiful.
Now, they're on Upshur Street. I'm sure your flower shop is just a place where, because every time I go into a flower shop, it just feels good. It feels, I'm always like, I wish I could work here like a part-time job. What does it do for the neighborhood and your community having the shop there?
Oh, well, you know, it's been so beautiful being there because the community has been so welcoming of me coming back. It was something that was needed on the business corridor. It's easy because we have a walkable neighborhood. So, you know, the individuals can go out and walk to the floors, pick out their own flowers. And it just really means a lot to have someone intimately put something together and give it to someone.
And how do you recall, just for the most difficult customer, not in a difficult way, but somebody who came in, probably a man, and was like, it's for this, what can we put together? What's the most creative thing that you think that you've had to do so far as for a client or a customer?
Well, I hate to say, a lot of my men customers come in to get out the doghouse.
Oh, right. Okay.
And they just don't know where to start, right? And so what I always tell them is, what's their favorite color? You know, start with a color base. Pick out the colors that you like, and then we'll go from there. Okay. And that pretty much works. Yes.
All right. So let's do some arrangements. So first of all, when you get them, this is beautiful. When you come from your flower shop, this is the presentation.
Yes.
Okay. And I know that it's. Can we just show this off for a second?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So all of this matters, like the paper and the different wrapping, that's a skill to that. And then this bow is just so pretty too.
Thank you.
You just, I can tell you take a lot of time with each of them. This is just simply gorgeous. But when you get them home, so somebody's like, oh, here you go, baby, I got you flowers. When you get them home, what's next?
Okay, yep, so we're gonna unwrap them. We'll take them apart. I'm gonna let you do it.
I'm doing it?
Yes,
Oh, Lord,
and I'll just guide you through.
Okay, all righty. And of course.
And while you're doing that, a lot of times, well, most of the time I give my customers instructions on how to keep the flowers fresh. Okay. When you take them home and you put them in a vase. We do provide them with flower food, but even if you don't have flower food, the most important thing is fresh water, right?
Really? Okay.
And I'll give you an example. If we took a cup of water and we sat it on the counter for 2 or 3 days, would you drink it?
No.
Because it's full of bacteria, it's stagnant. Well, these are still alive and breathing, and the water will infect the stem. So you always want to make sure that you have clear, fresh water for them. Okay.
Now, I managed to get them unwrapped.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so now the next thing you want to do is you want to cut them, but you want to cut them where they're not too long for the vase or they're not too short for the vase.
Okay.
So I always tell my customers, you want to measure it, and it's better to cut a little bit at a time than a little bit. So you want to take your flowers and sit them by the vase and see how high or low do you want them to be.
Now, for me, I like them when they're a little bit lower profile. I just like that, but what do you suggest? What's the perfect?
I like it.
Okay.
The only main thing that I always tell my customers is when you fill this with water and you cut them, you don't want the stems to touch the bottom of the vase. You want to keep space in between.
Okay, so here, okay. So, and when you cut them, how is it important to cut a specific way as well?
No, you're just basically going to cut straight across.
Okay, and
so
don't try to do all of them at once.
Yes, because you can cut them too short and then, you know. And you can do one by one or just cut a couple at a time.
Oh, and get some of these.
Yes.
Okay, that's the other thing. Don't use no rusty kitchen scissors like I tend to do. So let me just test. Now I'm messing up how the
No, you're fine, and you'll drop it right on in.
This one.
Yep.
Now what do you think about that, Lane?
That's beautiful.
Okay. Alexis, you're so nice. It could have been all the way jacked up. You would have said, that's nice.
No,
okay.
You know, I always believe that there's no right or wrong way to be creative, right? Your creativity is your creativity. So the way that you cut your flowers and put them in a vase, if it looks beautiful to you, then it's beautiful.
How did you know that you were going to be able to do this besides watching your dad do it?
Well, I always knew that I wanted to reopen the floors. At some point, I just didn't know.
Is it in the same location?
On the same street, yes.
Oh, that's so special. Yes. I know he's so happy.
Yes.
I know he's proud of you.
Yes. So I just didn't know when or where I was going to attempt to reopen it. And again, I didn't know that I knew how to arrange flowers. I was just playing around with artificial flowers one day, decorating the office, and that's when I came across my skill. And so the opportunity presented itself, and I just jumped out on faith and just did it. And the more that I worked with the flowers, the more that I saw my talent and my creativity.
Okay, now I think I'm finally getting there.
Yes.
I got one more, two more. So once we get, let me put these in.
Yeah.
I know the directors are yelling at me right now, but I'm invested in this at this point. So.
And it's so therapeutic,
yes,
right?
It is.
It feels really good.
Not to mention how good it smells.
Yes.
Okay, they're a little uneven, but we're just going to keep rolling with it. Okay, we got 2 more roses.
2 more to go.
All right. So now okay. So now they're in there.
Yes.
How do I know that it's symmetrical or what it looks like, or is it just what I like?
Well, it is always what you like.
Okay.
But for me, shaping is everything.
Okay.
So I like to, my favorite way is I like to have just like a round type of shape. So that's where your creativity comes in. You'll just take your stems one by one and you cut it, pull them up, pull them down, and adjust them to your liking.
I love it. This is Alexis Haggins. Her shop is Flowers by Alexis on Upshur Street. What's the block? What's the address?
851 Upshur Street.
Okay, please go. I mean, we got big days coming up. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, all of that.
All of
please go and check Alexis out. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, likewise. Thank you.
I'll fix this a little bit when we go to break. But it's no secret that our area is home to hundreds of foodies and creatives. And coming up, we'll talk to a local baker about the impact that she's having on her community. Plus, saggy, worn-out undergarments, challenges surrounding your period. That's the sad reality for some women. And coming up, a representative from a local museum will join us in studio to share how they are working to ease these roadblocks and provide support. We'll be right back. Well, if you've walked around the district, you have probably noticed the shop Made in DC. It features products made from local makers and artists, and we're talking apothecary, clothing, art, furniture, jewelry, home decor, stationery, and of course, yummy treats. So joining us now is Karina Romo. She works for shop Made in DC on the leadership team. Hello. Hi. And then also Jamila Jenkins, who won a grant from the shop Made in DC for her work with Donna Faye's Bakery. So welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
I mean, you got it looking great, smelling great, and all that. I can't wait to get into all of this. But Karina, let me start with you. Tell us all about what Made in DC is about and how it supports women and women-owned businesses.
Yeah, so we are a retail initiative. 89% of our items that we sell in our store are women-owned businesses. We are a woman-owned business, and we try to find different ways to elevate what the makers do, not only through selling them in the stores, but by teaching classes, curating gift boxes, and really finding ways to bring them into the community.
And I want to talk about these beautifully curated boxes in a minute, but Jamila, let me ask, what was receiving the grant? How did it change your life and your business and all of that?
For me, it was just exciting. We all had to pitch in order to receive the grant, and then everyone voted. But for me, I really wanted to get a trailer or some type of van so that I could be a little bit more mobile and be able to take things around for my bakery around the DMV. And I was actually able to get a van for my bakery. So the grant was amazing and helpful for my business and growth.
Okay, let's get back to these boxes for a second, because for me they really tell the story about the different populations, if you will, that you support. So can you just run through what these are and how do we get one of these beautiful boxes?
Yeah, we're so excited. We actually just released these. They're on our website now. So Shop Made in DC, we also have Shop Made in Virginia and Shop Made in Maryland, and they all support different makers from that community. But right here at the very front, this is our Black Maker box, but it's also all women-owned businesses, which is really exciting and wonderful. Right here we have our Galentine's Day box, because who doesn't want to buy a gift for their favorite lady in their life? And then here we have another DMV maker box. So all these items that you see here and here are all women-owned businesses. We also work with companies, and we can curate, we can size up, we can size down. Yeah,
I love
it's just
that.
really fun.
How do we support you in your mission and what you do for the community as a consumer? How can we support?
I think coming into the stores, shopping on our website, obviously on our website we have different sections, so you as a consumer can decide who you want to support. We break it down into women-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses, whatever you dream up. I think right now it's really important to support, where your heart is, and so making sure that you're aware aware of shopping small business. When you support us, you support our community.
I love that so much. Okay, you're going to do a little show and tell, right? And show us how to do the perfect, the frost.
Yes.
Getting a perfect frost. And again, this is Donna Faye's Bakery. Okay, Jamila, so what do we do here?
So one of the treats that we specialize in are pound cakes. Something that's a little bit different than a regular like cupcake.
Yeah.
But our minis are really, really popular right now. And we have curated boxes for Valentine's Day. So we're going to ice some of our mini cakes.
Okay.
You can ice them any way you so choose. The kind of design that we typically do is really just kind of creating like a circle kind of blob right there, but a cute blob.
Right.
Or you could, you know, go in a circle and just kind of put your own touch to the cake.
Can I try one?
Yes, you can. You can choose pink.
Because
you can
I've
choose
always
white.
wanted, I have never. What is this called?
That is a piping bag.
Okay.
Yes.
I've never actually had a piping bag and really tried to do it, but it looks.
So squeeze from the top.
Okay, squeeze from the top.
And use the bottom hand to guide.
Already the blob. Okay.
yeah,
the blob looks really. The blob is blobbing.
It's good. It's good.
Okay. This is so. And fight the urge to just.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you could take some of the toppings that we have.
Okay.
So we have some hearts. You can do cranberries, dried fruits.
Let's do the healthy one. So
The blackberries are always really good.
This one's mine. So yes, I have no gloves on,
Yes.
but I'm just doing this here and this. All right. So how do we get to you? How do we come and support?
So we have our permanent location at Union Market in DC.
Yeah.
Our stall is right across from Fishwife. You can come find us 7 days a week, 11 to 7. We have our mini cakes in quantities of 4 and 6 available. Pound cakes, butter cookies, which is also another one of our specialties. Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Granola, brownies. We have some coffee by another minority-owned business that we offer within our shop. But we have everything every day,
and
you can find us there.
Easy to find. We love Union Market. All right, Karina, before we let you go, can you tell us about some of the opportunities to come? You're talking about classes and other events that you're having.
Yeah, come into our stores. We have stores at the Wharf, at Union Market, in Georgetown. We are in College Park for Maryland. We're in Old Town, Virginia, and we just opened in Richmond.
Wonderful.
We're so excited. So we have spaces in almost all of those shops to teach classes. You can see what's exciting to you
and connect.
And connect.
Yes,
we love
come
connection. Visit us.
All right. Thank you so much for spending some. For connecting with us here on Get Uplifted.
Thank you so much.
Is this mine?
Yes, it's yours.
Okay, thank you. We want to highlight another women-owned business that's helping both men and women in our area accomplish their dreams. Our Leslie Foster caught up with Angel Gregorio right before she opened the Spice Suite.
It was like a super ugly, like two-tone green, dilapidated building, and then I saw somehow the vision to be able to update it. I saw it with all the walls down. I saw it with lighting. I saw it with black paint on the floors, on the ceilings, on the walls. I saw my products here. I immediately put myself in this space, and I knew I had to have it.
Angel Gregorio bought this 7,500 square foot commercial property in Northeast DC's Langdon Park neighborhood back in December of 2021. The Spice Suite she created had outgrown its Tacoma Park space. For 7 years, she hosted hundreds of pop-up businesses there as an incubator for dreams. But Angel wanted to secure an even bigger legacy in the community. It needed a name.
We're not bartering, but in some way we are. And I'm like, I'm going back and forth with black people. And I'm like, I'm going back and forth with black people. I'm going black and forth. And it was just like, this is cute. I love it.
Black and Forth is a campus with a bold and daring mission to use shipping containers from around the globe to create a local, affordable commercial space for black women, black men, and for business.
But I don't know that I hear folks talking about how do we create economic empowerment and freedom for folks through business in commercial spaces in cities like DC, where it is almost unrealistic to be able to rent anymore.
So little by little, the former educator and world-traveling spice curator decided to sprinkle something different for her community. The new Spice Suite has more space to encourage us to take even more risks with our food.
So if you are making our cornbread mix, you need vanilla. And I'm not gonna let you leave with plain vanilla because that's boring. So you're gonna leave with a cinnamon vanilla or a raspberry champagne vanilla. So DC or nothing. This, I'm a proud DC native, right? A DC girl through and through. This one is like Cajun, seafood. Take it, sprinkle it.
Okay.
And like the label says, sprinkle a little bit or a lot until the ancestors tell you to stop.
Okay, they've told me to stop.
Okay.
Because I'm
so
hungry.
Listen.
DC or nothing.
And
okay.
you taste it.
Okay.
And you can add more, right? Like that's the beauty in seasoning. You can add more if you want to add more.
The Spice Suite has always been a destination for more than just flavors on a plate. Angel hopes what she's serving up in these new containers will continue to push more boundaries in her empowerment zone. A hair salon, brow bar, braid bar, and nail studio are all set to open in just a few weeks.
Welcome to the salon. I'll let you in. This one probably has the nicest view because they can see everything.
And perhaps even be inspired to create a legacy of their own.
I want someone to say, like, you know what, there's this property I've been looking at in Southeast or uptown. I think I want to do it. So that us helping each other in this way, us supporting each other as relentlessly as I do, becomes the way that we all show up for community.
Well, before we go, we want to highlight DC's National Women in the Arts Museum. The museum has partnered with I Support Girls. It's a nonprofit that collects donations of bras and menstrual products and distributes them to women and girls experiencing homelessness. And joining us now to talk more about why they wanted to get involved with ISTG is the museum's Director of Public Programs, Kelly Daly. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tell us about your museum first, because it's very specific in what's offered. Can you tell us all about it?
Yeah,
Okay.
so the National Museum of Women in the Arts has always been a place where historically marginalized and underrepresented voices have been celebrated. As you know, women in the arts have been marginalized for centuries, and unfortunately that's still the case today. So through our work, our programs, our exhibitions, who we partner with, we're hoping to amplify these stories and create a more inclusive and equitable future.
Yeah, you answered it right in there, but I want to highlight it. Why is this so needed?
Right now it's needed more than ever. This has been going on for centuries, as I said, but through our work we're really hoping to amplify these voices and also create a better future for rising artists, community organizers, everyone.
When people visit and then they leave, what do you hope they take with them?
Yeah, definitely. I hope that our visitors learn something new. I hope that they recognize the value that these artists and these organizations bring to their communities and the world. I hope that when visitors come, it sparks a conversation about what representation is, what equity is, and I really hope that our visitors leave as not only allies, but also advocates for gender equality.
You know what, it's so funny, you said it so well, but when you were answering that, I thought, I too hope they leave knowing that it's important and there's space for all voices here.
Completely.
I really do. Okay, just a little amen moment, because I really, I vibe with what you're saying with that, and I hope they do leave with that. Let's talk about why you got involved, or the museum chose to get involved with this nonprofit.
Definitely. We love I Support the Girls. Partnerships with organizations like I Support the Girls make sense because we're mission aligned, and it also gives us an opportunity to engage with our community in a meaningful way. Collaborations like this are a fun and accessible way for our audience to contribute to an organization and a great cause.
Right.
I Support the Girls is a local DMV organization who works with women and folks who are homeless by donating lightly used bras, feminine hygiene products, things that they need every day. So we hosted a drive with them during one of our late night programs called NIMWA Nights, which happens on the third Wednesday of the month. And it's a mixture of art, music, drinks, and education, and all fits under our Women Arts and Social Change Program Initiative, where we hope to highlight how art and community overlap. And a big part of this collaboration is we want to be a space that we're not only talking about social change, but actively facilitating it.
Right. How do you think the impact was received? Do you think people,
It was great.
Okay.
Yeah, we collected about 5 bins worth of product.
Wow.
I Support the Girls brought out their incredible team. Their executive director, Dana Marlowe, was there, who gave a beautiful gallery talk about the organization's beginnings. and they also brought their Vangina and parked it out front for pictures, which was incredible.
I love it. All right, before we let you go, Women's History Month, we know it's in March. We know it should be 12 months out of the year, but it's not. So it's in March. What events, activities, what do you want people to know about what the museum has to offer next month?
I appreciate you say that, because Women's History Month is a big month for us, but the 11 other months are also important. We have a lot of great programs happening, but I'd like to highlight our International Women's Day programs.
Tell us all about it.
That's on Saturday, March 8th. We'll have yoga from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning. And then we have a virtual program at 12 p.m. all about Frida Kahlo. We also have our late night program, NIMWA Nights, happening again on Wednesday, March 19th. We'll be partnering with We Met IRL, which is a great woman-owned organization all about creating connections with and finding your community. And then also on Monday, March 24th, we'll have our signature program, Fresh Talk, all about women in the food and service industry and how we define success. So we encourage you to come out to any and all of our programs.
Busy.
Yes.
You're going to be very busy. This is Kelly Daly. She is with the DC's National Women in the Arts Museum. Where do we find the museum?
Yep, so you can go to our website, www.nmwa.org, or also follow us on social media at Women in the Arts.
I love it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. And thank you for joining me. I want to continue to share stories that uplift you. You can email us at getuplifted@wusa9.com. You can reach me on X, Instagram, Facebook, or our Get Up DC social pages. And join the conversation just by using the hashtag GetUpDC. And you can get your daily dose of Get Uplifted every morning at 5 on Get Up DC. And you can also find these stories on our website and our YouTube channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stay uplifted.